Hello and welcome. Joining me today, Joydeep Karmakar, and today we are here to discuss about Adriyan Karmakar, who has done wonders in the ISSF Junior World Cup in Germany, Seoul, winning two medals, one silver in the 50-meter prone and one bronze in the 50-meter 3P event. And this was his first Junior World Cup campaign, and that in the first campaign he bagged two medals. So, Joydeep sir, firstly, welcome to Revsportz, and how proud are you for Adrian's performance, and also as an expert of the game, how would you analyze his performance in Germany?
First of all, thanks a lot for the congratulatory wishes you have sent. Yes, definitely being a father, a very and big proud moment for all of us in the family as well as friends. Definitely, he did a commendable job. It is not easy to earn two medals at the debut World Cup, that in individual event and in one edition. So
Yeah.
definitely a great feat by Adrian. And as a father, definitely one of the ecstatic moment for us also. Emotions run very high when, like, family is involved. But again, as you told me in the second part, I'm also a professional athlete. I was a professional shooter and a coach. So the technical part is different from the emotion part. So coming to the technical part, I would say, again, I'll be very fair and very unbiased here. uh, I'm not speaking as a father, but conditions there were very difficult. I knew about it a little because it was extremely cold, which is very opposite weather for our athletes going from India right now, and it was quite windy. So I think even in the commentary today, the Scandinavian commentator and an athlete was also saying it is fine for us, but it will be very difficult for
Yeah.
others with the current situation there in the range. It's extremely cold, and if the Europeans say it is cold, then definitely it is. Because I had a word with my son yesterday also, so he told that yes, conditions are very difficult, but we have trained for the wind part, because
Yeah.
if we go back, these events, like the small board events, were not the strongest event for India. If we go historically, so one of the reason was that we were not educated enough in the windy conditions. Wherever there was windy condition, we used to fail. So now things are turning a bit, and small bow shooters are gaining prominence in the Indian shooting team, whereas it was always the air weapon shooters who were the most successful for Indians, always. So I think this is a great sign for Indian shooters that they are technically getting strong, including my son. And
Yeah.
yeah, definitely, technically, it was a very difficult as well as challenging situation where he did well, I would say, score wise as well.
Yeah, sir, I've been interviewing a lot of Indian athletes after the Senior World Cup in South America, and they have all praised the NRAI for the trials they have conducted throughout the year, and they have all said that the level of competition in the trials are like the international competitions. So, does that also help in Indian athletes getting accustomed to these tough conditions? Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, there are different views to this, but I would say it is beneficial for Indian shooting. See, the grueling situation in Indian shooting because of the trials, it has been criticized by many, I know,
Yeah.
but still, as the shooters pointed out, they are always on their toes. So no complacency is coming in, because in India we have a huge pool of talent. Now selecting the best from the best is a very difficult task for the federation. So now there needs to be a evaluation, a program like the trials frequently happening, so that they are judged on their current performance. So I think
Yeah.
it's a very scientific thing. Like, if you cannot compare it with other European countries, because they have a very small number of shooters,
Yeah.
and they are the only ones, like, who are training and going for the international. But now India, if you go by the air rifle events, air pistol events, there are thousands of athletes. And now,
Exactly.
like, in air rifle, uh, I was calculating, I think last year before the Olympics, there are about 40 odd shooters who can shoot 630 and above. So that was like, 2 years back I'm talking about. Now
Yeah.
even kids are shooting 633s and 34s. So
Yeah.
the performance is increasing, and that means you need a very stringent selection policy
Mm.
also, so that you get the best out of the best.
Yeah, exactly. This is exactly the same words Sift Kaur Samra told in a previous interview with us, and absolutely, these were the words. Sir, coming to Adrian, when he bagged the prone medal, did that give you flashbacks of your playing days?
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite event. Like, definitely I feel nostalgic when it comes to prone, because it is not in Olympics anymore. That's sad part.
Yeah,
But there's been a beautiful event in shooting sport, and doing it in prone, like, Adrian, talking about Adrian winning there in doing well, making a national record as well. Definitely
yeah,
something special. And very honestly, I would say I was not very expecting much from the prone event, because his pet event is three position, which is prone is a
mm,
part of it, one third
yeah,
part of it. But prone particularly, I was not that, like, very very hopeful that he would do very well. Yeah,
mm,
he would manage a decent score, that I knew, but not this. Very honestly, he has done really well in this event, because as you see, again, especially for these kind of events, the small board events, outdoor events, our history is not very bright internationally. Very few shooters will make it, like, big in the world
yeah,
stage. So, still now, so I think this is a good signal from India, that we are strong in all other events, and we are getting strong in small board events also.
mm,
It would have been a very rare finalist earlier, but now we are getting more and more medals also. So that will
yeah,
give a very positive, like, feed for the next generation also, who are taking up small bore shooting. Now, I have seen in this transition of last 2 3 years, more and more shooters are taking up small bore, which was not that prevalent at that time. Air rifle was the most affordable, and of course the most populist shooting discipline in India, air rifle and air pistol. But now small bore, people are taking it very seriously, and the entries have gone, like, very high. So that's the good sign, I would say, overall for India. And in the next editions of the game, the World Cups, I'm sure that many more athletes will be coming, because we get these talents from the junior shooters mostly,
mm,
and then they graduate to senior level. Senior, we have some brilliant shooter, like, for the first time Swapnil Kusale won a bronze medal at the Olympics. Aishwarya,
yeah.
he is doing amazing.
I saw it
Akhil
up
Shivran,
there. Yeah.
there are lots of shooters in three position now. They are, like, doing very well.
Mm. Absolutely. So one question, I think Adrian would be in a better position to answer this one, but I would want to know your perspective on this. Is it tough being someone like Adrian to have a father who has such a illustrious career in the same sport that you are following? So does that put extra pressure on the athlete that people would start comparing with your father?
See, it's a very common question, which is
Yeah.
asked always, to him or me. So I think if it is so common, then we need to prepare. We need to plan for this already. So we have spoken a lot about this, and we are very frank about this. So he's programmed to face such kind of situation and questions. To be honest, if you know the thing very well, then it doesn't put additional pressure on you. So you can take it cool. Of course,
Hmm.
comparison will be made. There will be distractions. So if you do not accept distraction, then you will
Hmm.
not be able to solve the distraction. You try to
Exactly.
escape. There is no
Exactly.
escape to it. See, so we have like long chats about this kind of thing, which will eventually come to him, and there will be comparison whether he does well or whether he does
Mm.
bad. So each way, both way, there will be reactions and comparisons with me. But we
Yeah.
have tried to keep it cool because I am an athlete. I was an athlete. I'm a different athlete. He's an athlete, perhaps my son, but that's a different thing. He's again an athlete. So let him grow
Yeah.
in his own way. So I don't think that is a big conflict, that he will not able to, like
Mm.
go through,
Go
because he
through.
already
Yeah.
knows this fact. So jokingly we can also, like discuss about this.
That's a fantastic way to put the thing. Sir, one question before we move on to the overall scenario of shooting in India. One question that I would love to know: what were the talks like before the game days?
See, I would say that, like, even after winning the medal, I would say that Adrian didn't go to the World Cup, like, in top form, because he was struggling with a few changed equipments 1 month before the World Cup. We
Okay.
calculated that it would be fine, but it didn't go the way we wanted. He had his whole kit changed, but as we thought, like, it will give him advantage, but there were some issues he was not able to solve. So we put a deadline, um, earlier this month, that okay, we need to experiment till this date. You try your old kit also, you try your new one also,
Mm.
and we need to, like, not discuss it anymore. We do not want any confusion. You have to be very very confident about whatever equipments you have changed, and you'll have to go through it, or else you put it aside. You take the old ones and use it. So there was a little dilemma about this. So
Mm.
I would say, mm, that going into this competition, it is not only the confidence part, I would say, but technically there were some issues. But he was
Mm.
working on it very hard to solve it. So our conversation was not very demanding from my side, actually.
Okay.
So what I told him is that now you need to be a learner. Whatever stage you are in, even if you're struggling or you're doing well, you
Yeah.
just try to be a learner there. Every shot, every moment, you're learning something. So that extra anxiety, or the
Mm.
darkness you have about, the confusion you have about your equipment or doubts, it will cut out, because
Yeah.
you're there to learn.
Yeah.
Of course, you can be a learner. You can have a lot of patience. At the same time, you can perform. So
Yeah.
never forget that you are there to perform, but be in an attitude to learn. So that is what the like the broad sense of preparation
Mm.
we had a discussion with,
Yeah.
other than the small technicalities.
Yeah. Right. So, moving on to the overall scenario of Indian shooting, the shooters did fantastically well in the South American World Cup, the senior team. Now, the junior team is also doing really well. They are currently leading the medals tally. In few weeks' time, the senior World Cup will be held in Germany also. So, there is a very big positive shift in Indian shooting over the last few years. Over your overall thoughts on the these for positive, this huge pool of talented shooters coming up. What is the NRI and Indian shooters doing right?
First, I would like to start from the private small academies, which has come up even in villages now. So
Mm.
that awareness is starting from those small clubs. Perhaps
Yeah.
the coaches are not qualified enough. They are
Mm.
not, like celebrated ex-athletes or anything. But at
Mm.
least what they're doing is they are giving a facility, infrastructure to non-shooters to take up the sport. So that is very
Mm.
important. So it is coming up in towns, suburbs, and even villages. So that is a huge, that exactly from there we are getting the pool, and then the talents are coming out of that quantity. The quality we are
Yeah.
getting out of that quantity. So now the federation's work is to streamline it, make policies, make arrangements for athletes to be, to face a fair competition. uh,
Yeah.
I would like to say that NRA perhaps has one of the most fair policy of athletes and competition. So that gives a lot of confidence to athletes that my efforts will not go in
mm,
vain due to unfair policy or unfair any means. So they're very good about it. They work a lot. They in fact, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, they have made the governing body has made some changes.
yeah,
They have brought some changes, which is fantastic.
yeah,
The deep thought which has gone into the amendments are amazing. Now you can, like Tatkal tickets for railways, you have the choice
yeah,
of selecting your date and time of your match, because many are students. So if you don't
yeah,
know your dates, perhaps you're coming beginning of the month, and after 12th or 13th your match is there. So you need to stay for a longer period. There's a financial thing also concerned. So
mm,
they have solved it
yeah,
brilliantly. That's an online system. So now they're moving on. So I think every state association should also follow these kind of things. These are simple things. You
mm,
might not need a lot of money for it also, but what you need to
yeah,
do is that you need to be concerned about your shooters, concerned about
yeah,
your own sport. You don't need to think about
yeah,
other sports. If you're concerned about your own sport, because the state associations are not doing enough. I think national
mm,
federation is something they should look up to and follow the examples, so that they can start in a, very minute level.
yeah,
So these are the
absolutely.
factors which is guiding the Indian shooting. And of course, I'm sure that the inherent talent is there in Indians.
Yeah,
So something to do with Lakshaved, like our Arjun. I think we
yeah,
have an inherent quality, I guess, in us in shooting sport, target sport, archery. You see,
yeah,
and in sports like chess also, where you need a lot of
yeah,
mental faculty. So I think we have a lot of positive, and what we have seen in the last few editions of the Olympics, the few medals are coming now, but I think
yeah.
we are still in a very nascent stage. We will get a huge
Mm.
number of medals in the coming Olympics, I would say, from shooting. I'm very confident about it.
Absolutely. And sir, as you mentioned about Olympics, especially in the Olympics level, the game is ever evolving. As you mentioned that the prone was there in your time, then it was 3P, and now for LA also the 3P will have only standing only finals. There are changes made in the shotgun events also. So the sport is ever evolving. Does it make it difficult for the athletes to adjust to the changing scenarios?
Say, in this cutthroat world of sports, if you evolve, you survive. If you can't, you say goodbye. So
Yeah.
that's the hardcore reality of sports. So they need to, it might pose a challenge, but they need to adapt
Mm.
to the changes. If they can't,
Yeah.
they have to quit, because there will be some psychological challenges also. I remember, when we made the transition from the integer score to the decimal score,
Mm. Mm.
it was actually, technically, I would say there's no change. It is just the counting, the maths,
Mm.
but there is
Mm.
a huge psychological impact. So we need to
Yeah.
cope with that kind of thing. Now, if you talk about the standing thing only, so everybody knows about the three position competition. Of course, there are consisting of, kneeling, prone, and standing, but it is said by everybody and understood by everybody that standing is the most crucial part of three position shooting.
Yeah.
And I think that is the logic behind this change, that standing should be the testing point for all athletes to take part in the finals
Mm.
in Los Angeles. From, I think it
Yeah.
will be changed from 1st January 2026. So I guess this is
Mm.
fair, and it is fair for everybody. If somebody is not very strong in standing, you don't stand a chance, because I would like to tell you the technicality in a very basic form.
Yeah.
20 shots are in
Yeah.
kneeling, 20 shots are in prone. So after
Yeah.
that 40 shot, you start the standing. So if you go by
Yeah.
any competition, if you see it live, not at the end, you see the scores after the 40 shots. The score difference between all shooters are one or equal, or number of X's divided, dividing the ranking. But as soon as you shoot even two shots in standing, the ranking changes rapidly. So that is the Q factor in three position
Yeah.
shooting. So I think it's fair. So even if somebody is not very strong in standing, they have to get used to it. They have to spend more time, work hard on standing position.
Yeah. So final one, one again on Adrian. That what are the tournaments that he is currently looking for this year ahead? And of course, the question will always come: what is the ultimate aim in for Adrian?
Now we are going like step by step. So right now this year that we have two more competitions, junior competitions. We are looking at junior competition only because last year he was in senior group, A group.
Yeah.
We have shifted him to junior group so that he can play his junior competition this year. There are three. So one is over, two more are there. So we'll be concentrating on the junior competitions only. But eventually, going towards 2026, we know that perhaps the quota will start from 2026, Los Angeles quota.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, definitely it is in our minds. But again, as I told you, we are going very slow and steady, and we are not looking at anything flashy. We are more concentrating on the consistency rather than flashy, very high level scores.
Hmm.
So the development should be very controlled and understandable.
Hmm.
If we are doing something we don't understand but we are winning, it's not worth it in my opinion. So we'll go definitely slow and steady, and very honestly, the philosophy he has got from me and the philosophy he believes in, there is no ultimate in sports. What I say is that human excellence is the only excellence you can do in a sport to contribute in the sport. So, what is the limit? So, you go for that limit. You don't go for that Olympic gold. You don't go for that, points or marks, whatever. You do whatever is possible for a human being associated in that sport. So, be
Yeah.
it javelin, if you think I can throw 100 meter, so you're limiting yourself.
Yeah.
If we are asking Neeraj to throw 90, we are limiting him. Why not think the other way around? What is humanly possible? Perhaps it's
Hmm.
115. Who knows? People might laugh at me. But believe me, the 630 was a dream
Hmm.
for air rifle shooters 4 5 years back. It was a dream score. Now,
Yeah.
631 is not making the finals. It's a nightmare for shooters. If I shoot 630, I'll be out. So, this is the reality of sport. So we need to be practical and we need to excel in whatever ways and not limiting ourselves by numbers or material medals or anything. So that is my philosophy which I followed in my life. Perhaps that's one reason I didn't get the medal. Jokes apart, I should have loved the medal. But Adrian has got almost the same thought process, and I think we are fair in our own way to define our goals and objectives.
Lovely. It was lovely talking to you, sir. And I enjoy the sport from the core of my heart, and I keep following shooting, Indian shooting. I have been in Asian Games, I have been in the Olympics, and I love this sport to the core. And we wish Adrian to go all the way, and of course get that coveted medal. But fingers crossed. Thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Definitely. Thanks a lot. It was very nice talking to you.